Welcome to Insanely Positive. Your oasis of joy when the world seems grey and full of grumpy faces. I'm Suzanne Freiherz. Thank you for joining me. I'll feed you buckets of joy to bring out your best self so you can live your best life.
Hello, this is Suzanne. I am talking to you today from kind of a very improvised state of living. My husband Tom and I decided that we want to be with our families in these days and during this time, to be there and to support and help wherever we can and just to be close to them. So we took one of the last flights to come here, and we're here in a tiny, cute, but tiny apartment. It's about 25 square meters. So it's basically everything in one room, but it has everything you need to live. And I'm talking to you while I'm in the bathroom because this is the only room that is that has a door. So it's, well, let's call it soundproof. It's pretty calm, and we figured it might be the best place to do the episode today and to do this podcast and to talk to you all. We are doing a 2-week voluntary quarantine. So we don't have to do it because where we come from, when we left, there was no case of COVID-19. So we're not from a risky environment or something, but we're doing it anyway. We stay in this apartment for 2 whole weeks, and we don't go out, not even for a walk, and we don't have to do it, but we're doing it because we want to keep everyone extra safe. And I think that this time that we're all experiencing now together kind of asks us and invites us to be more considerate than usual and to keep everybody extra safe and to be extra supportive and respectful and responsible. So this is why we're doing it. And as I said, it's a tiny, tiny space, and I'm so grateful that Tom and I have lived in tiny spaces before, and we get along great, and we don't need much room. So we're healthy and fine, and I hope you are too. And when I thought about what to talk about today, it was pretty clear, because I think we need to talk about emotions today, and we need to talk about negative emotions. Because we all are facing an extraordinary challenge. We have never experienced anything like that before. This is a brand new situation for the whole world. We're all in this together, and we're all being challenged at the same time. And I think that handling our emotions, and especially those that we label as negative emotions like anger and fear and frustration and all that and worry, we need ways to deal with them in a nurturing way, because everything has its place. So I want to talk about how to deal with this so-called negative emotions. And before I do that, when you're new to my podcast, I can invite you to have a look at past episodes, because I myself did so. And usually I am so busy and I have so many things to do that I completely forget what I did last week. So I just scrolled through the episodes that I have done so far, and I was really surprised how many of them kind of seem to be perfect for the time right now and for the challenge we're facing right now. So if you're new to the podcast, please make sure to scroll through the episodes, and what you'll find there is a lot of useful stuff, like how to create a positive self-image, because we spend so much time with ourselves, because most of us have to stay at home. And then we kind of, face ourselves when we're less busy and we can't go out. And to cultivate a positive self-image, I think now is the perfect time to do so. So there is an episode about that. And there are a lot of positive pep talks. You can do it and you are enough. I think these are things that we need to hear now. And also, positive self-talk. There is a whole episode about positive self-talk, and there is a practice, something that you can do with me, and I'll guide you step by step. And then we can make sure that whatever goes on in your head, and of course, the way we talk to ourselves is part of our emotional state. So it's really important right now to work on yourself and make sure that your self-talk is positive. And also you'll find 2 episodes about how to keep calm when things don't go as planned. And I think we can all agree that things are not going as planned for none of us. I think there is not one single human on the planet who can say, oh, okay, fantastic, things are going as planned. No, we're all facing a challenge and nothing goes as planned. So how to keep calm, how to deal with this. And also I'd like to recommend everything you need is here already. This is another episode, because maybe you're at home and you think like, oh, I don't have this and I need that and I can't go out and do this. And you want to make sure that you don't strengthen a mental state of lack. You want to strengthen an inner state of mind that is abundant and grateful. So this is the episode for that. And there is one more I'd like to talk about just quickly, and then we'll talk about emotions. And I think we can all use that. And this is something that I and Tom and I are doing a lot. And we've been in our relationship for 22 years and we're still happy. And I can even say even happier than when it all started. And there is a whole episode about how to spice up your relationships. And maybe when you're at home and you're not used to being with your partner and your family 24/7, then this can be very useful for you. And I really hope it is. So please use the time you have and use it to bring positivity into your life and have some uplifting talk going on around you. And so yeah, these are the episodes that I can highly recommend. And also there are a lot of mindfulness practices. So this is all stuff where you can just lean back, close your eyes, and I will guide you through certain practices. And they help you deal with your emotions and with the challenges that we're all facing right now. So even if you've heard them, maybe go back. I think you might hear them differently now, because I think our mindsets have shifted quite a lot. And okay, so I am at home and you're at home, maybe. And I do hear or read on social media, oh, we're stuck at home. And guys, this sounds like a really negative thing. I mean, I could say I'm stuck at a 2-week quarantine I have only a luggage with me, and I'm in an improvised apartment. But there is another way of seeing this. You can shift your viewpoint, and then it will not feel like you're stuck at home, because you aren't, I think. Have a look at it in a different way. Just see it that way and say, I am lucky I have a home. See, this feels completely different. And suddenly we're all grateful. Like I said in the beginning, this is a really cute apartment. And Tom and I were so grateful that we found this within, well, I think a few hours. And we're super grateful that it's so cute and the hosts are so kind. And we're grateful then that we can be close to our families. So there's always something positive. So whenever your mind says, oh, I'm stuck at home, just switch your perspective, take a breath and say, well, I am lucky to have a home and I am safe at home. Okay, just add that. I'm lucky I have a home and I am safe at home. Because home is a safe space. It really, really, literally is right now. So I hope this helps you. And this is the first thing that helps you keep up an emotional state of positivity. And also, I think it's worth mentioning that when you are at home and you can stay at home, I think we're the lucky ones. I can stay at home as well because I always work from home. But I think when you say, oh, I have to stay home, actually you're lucky. Because maybe a while ago, you longed for a break. You longed for your life to slow down so you can catch a breath and recharge and recover, or you longed for more time for yourself, or more time at home, or more time with your loved ones. And now you have it. So to a certain degree, even a crisis like this that is so tragic and difficult, still there is something we can make of it, and we can always make the best of it. So if you just appreciate the fact, okay, wow, that's true. I was so stressed out. I haven't seen my family. I didn't have time to be with my partner, play with my kids, or just enjoy my beautiful, comfy couch. Well, there it is. Now it's here. And now it's on you to appreciate it and to really use this time. Okay, so see it that way. Switch your viewpoint. And also, really, we are lucky when we can stay at home because there are others who can't. I bet many of them would love to stay at home, but they can't because they belong to these heroic humans that are out there each day to make sure that we have food and medical support and that we can go from A to B and that we are safe. So I think we can appreciate this for just this moment. And actually, finally, all these people are getting the appreciation they deserve. I've talked about appreciation and seeing each other in another episode. I called it Invisible Hands. Well, let me think for a moment. As I said, it's hard for me to remember what has been going on. Let me just check. It's Waiting to be Seen, the Smile Supremacy. That is about seeing each other and appreciating each other, especially all the humans who work jobs that we usually don't see and appreciate. So now we want to make sure that all these people get the appreciation they deserve. And we want to make sure that this appreciation is still going on once this crisis is past. Okay? And now let's talk about emotions. Maybe all the things like, I'm not stuck at home. I'm lucky to be at home. I'm safe at home. I have a home. Yay. This already helped you to find an emotional state that is more balanced and more calm. And now, how do we deal with emotions that we label as negative? And how do we deal with them in a positive way? What is useful? What is helpful when all these emotions come up? What do we usually do when anger comes up, or fear, or worry, or we're frustrated? So all the things that we usually label as negative emotion. What do we usually do? What's the reaction? Usually there are two things that we do, or two typical reactions to negative emotions. Number one would be we look away. We don't face them. We turn away and we avoid them, and we try to push them aside, or we swallow them. And that is not the best idea, certainly not in the long run. Because as we all know, emotions are energy. This is a field of information that is very, very strong. And when we don't deal with them and we push them aside or swallow them, or we just don't face them, they kind of linger and we can feel them later as tension in the body, as aches, as a tummy ache, as a sore throat. They show up as many different things. Backache is one of the classics. So this is what happens, and of course we want to take good care of ourselves, and we don't want emotions to linger and creep around in our bodies. And also you may want to also think that or be aware that emotions at one point or the other have the tendency to break free and to express themselves. So when we don't face them and we push them aside and we swallow them and we smile and we say, everything is fine, although on the inside everything is already right? Usually these emotions bubble up at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they target the humans that have nothing to do with these emotions. And I think we all know that we swallow something at work, and then we come home, and then our family has to deal with it, and then we're frustrated or agitated, and they don't know what they did, and then we're frustrated because they are frustrated, and you see, it's a whole mess. So this is the usual reaction. Number one, to turn away, to ignore, and then all this stuff happens. Or the other thing is, we allow them, we realize, I'm sad, I'm worried, I'm angry, and then we allow ourselves to lose ourselves in these emotions. And I think we've all done that. And what happens when we do that? Well, first we feed them. And when you feed something, it stays. That's the same thing with everything. Feed it and it stays. And it grows and it becomes stronger. So that's not ideal with the negative emotion, right? To kind of feed it and have it grow. And also, they take control. And when we allow them to be there and just lose ourselves in these emotions, they take control and they tell us what to think, what to say, what to do, how to behave, how to react. And we don't want to lose control, right? This is our lives and we are in control, not one emotion that just popped up. We want to keep in charge of our lives. Agreed? Yes, we all agree. So these are the two things that usually happen. We look away, we don't deal with the emotion at all, or we just kind of dive in and bathe in it, and then the emotion takes over our lives, at least for a certain time. And I have different suggestions today that work really well. I have been doing this for a long time myself, and I have been sharing this for a long time. So let me start by first say something very, very important, and please listen carefully. It is okay to feel these emotions. And the first thing you want to practice is to not blame yourself and to not feel bad and to not get frustrated with yourself for feeling these emotions, okay? Because this is sometimes a big misunderstanding when we talk about positivity and being calm and being centered and being balanced. So many people assume that, oh, I'm not allowed to be angry. Oh, I can't be angry. I have to be all balanced all the time and all happy. I think that's not what positivity is about. I think real positivity allows everything into your life and accepts everything and then finds ways to deal with it in a nurturing and helpful and useful way. I think that is what positivity is all about. So please, when you find yourself having whatever emotion, anger, fear, worry, first of all, tell yourself it's okay. It's okay. I am human. So for the rest of my life, I will feel these emotions. They just show that I am human and that I am alive. Okay? So it's fine. It's absolutely fine. And then, this is step number 1, okay? Just say, okay, it's okay to feel that. And then comes step number 2. Don't stop at 1. Okay? Don't stop at 1 and then walk around and say, okay, it's absolutely okay that I'm super angry and grumpy and I treat everybody that in a certain way. Okay? That's just step number 1. To say, okay, it's okay that this is here. Here comes step number 2. Step number 2, very easy also. Take a breath. Imagine on the inside you're leaning back. And then you go like, interesting. Yes, I'm serious. That's step number 2. Interesting. Interesting is a very useful word. It's completely neutral. It can be used for everything. You know, I was a really, really, really awful cook when I was very young. I hated cooking. And I kind of had to find my way of what to eat. And when I found that and I was completely authentic, suddenly I was able to cook really well. So, but back then I was so bad. And I invited a friend and I cooked for them, or friends, and I cooked for them. And one of these friends tasted the salad. And then I could see his face go like, ooh. And he's a super kind and sweet guy. And then he kind of smiled and he said, interesting. So you see, interesting is a fantastic word. You can use it in any situation and it's very neutral. Interesting can mean anything. So this is step number 2, kind of neutralizing your approach, right? To make sure that you're not getting stuck on this emotion. So you're leaning back on the inside and saying, interesting. And then step number 3. And this is about communication and language, okay? Instead of saying what we usually say, I am angry, I am frustrated, I am so worried, I am sad. Instead, from now on, you say, there is anger, there is worry, there is frustration, whatever is here, okay? So the difference is I am and there is. You can already feel the difference, can't you? With the one version, you say, I am this and I am that. It's the invitation to lose yourself in the emotion. And you think you are this emotion, and that's why the emotion can tell you what to think and draws you in even more. Okay, so you are you. You are the amazing, beautiful, unique, wonderful you. And there is this and that emotion. And that's a huge difference, huge difference. So these are the 3 steps. And I know this sounds very easy, and I can tell you it really is practice it a lot, that this becomes your new normal. This becomes your new natural reaction to whatever negative emotion is coming up. And now let me talk about the word negative. I said before that the emotions we've labeled negative. Why did I say that? Well, because I think it's kind of a little harsh almost to say these are negative emotions. They are only negative when we don't deal with them in a useful way, I think. But everything has its place. So every emotion has its function. And I think that even the emotions that don't feel great, or those that we label negative, they have a valuable function. When you look at fear, fear is a very useful emotion when there is immediate danger, because it keeps you safe. So this is what fear does. It keeps you safe. So it is very useful in a kind of an emergency, right? It keeps you safe. But also at the moment when you think like, I'm a little scared to go outside, it can also be helpful because we all should stay inside as much as possible. So it can be now that this fear helps you to stay inside and tells you, listen, stay home as much as you can because that's where you're safe. I'm not saying you should be scared going outside. I'm just saying take it as a reminder that you are supporting everyone around you when you don't go out as much, when you stay at home as much as possible. You're supporting all the doctors and all the medical staff, everyone who is out there working. So it's so important. And I think this fear tells us, listen, this is important. Remember, we should stay home. This is the contribution you can give and you can do. So this can help you. And so I think every emotion has its function and is useful unless we don't deal with it and we allow it to stick around and control our thoughts and our day. So what I love doing is whenever an emotion comes up that belongs to the group that we label negative, I always ask myself, how is this useful? How is this useful now? Like I said, with the fear, it could be useful now. Just a little bit of this feeling, I'm a little worried going outside. I'll stay at home. Perfect. Okay, it helps you to do what you can do to support everybody else. So how is this useful is a very, just like the word interesting, a very powerful sentence. Interesting is a word, but this is a sentence. It's very, very powerful and very helpful. How is this useful? I love approaching emotions with logic. Interesting. Anger is here, fear is here, worry is here, whatever. How is this useful? How is it useful? And then feel that every emotion comes with a boost of energy. Like anger has an immense boost of energy. Every emotion has, like every human being has this atmosphere around them, right? And every emotion has that too. And there is a lot of useful information in there. So you feel this, okay, this emotion has a strong drive, for example. Or this emotion makes me want to lie down in bed and not get up. Okay? So again, if you're frustrated and you feel like, oh, I'm gonna stay in bed, you can do this for a day. Maybe you need a break, maybe you need the sleep, but just make sure that this doesn't become a habit. Just see if it's useful now when you say, oh, right, I'm really tired. I haven't slept well in days. Maybe I want to appreciate that actually right now I can lie down in the middle of the day and take a nap. So this is how this emotion could be very, very useful. But of course, again, don't let them take over. If you're napping every day, the whole day, then the emotion is taking over. So you have to make sure that always ask yourself, is it still useful? Is it useful now? Right? And then what you do with this energy is up to you, but I have a lot of suggestions for you. Like I already mentioned, maybe this emotion invites you to take a much needed break. Maybe this emotion is a reminder that you're responsible for your health and for the others around you, and it helps you to stay at home, and it makes it easier for you to stay at home. But also, you can transform every emotion with something. You could do a fitness routine. You can do a workout. I love doing this. I absolutely love doing this. When I feel stuck, when I'm frustrated or kind of overwhelmed with something, I always turn to a workout, and that's where I can completely clean my mind, and it's like I'm a new person afterwards, and everything that before I felt is troublesome, afterwards I always have a different and more positive viewpoint on everything. So it could be movement. You could do breathing exercises. You can do meditation. You can do relaxations. A guided version is always helpful, because when you're kind of very deeply into your emotions, it helps when someone guides you step by step and you have the voice that you can kind of hold on to. So you can try that. Also very useful, cleaning. I love doing that too. When I feel like, this emotion is here. Oh, okay. I'll just clean the whole apartment. Or maybe you want to cook something or bake something. You can do something for yourself. You can nurture yourself. You can take a bath. You can, whatever you love doing, I don't know, do a face mask, whatever. And use the energy to do something good for yourself. Also, and I feel that this is the most powerful thing, and to me this is always a great helper and way to transform these so-called negative emotions. Just do something nice for someone else. Be there for someone else. I think this is a very nurturing and healing thing to do. When you are deep in your worries or your fears, it very much helps to turn to someone else. And maybe you live with someone, and then you can do something nice for them. You can offer a massage. You can make them a hot beverage, cup of tea, coffee, whatever they like. I don't know, you can write a poem for them. You can do something creative. Think of something, really make an effort, or ask them. You can just walk towards them when you live with them, that's okay. And you go there and you're like, you know what? I'm not in the best mood. I am really frustrated today. But you know what? I would love to do something nice for you. What can I do for you that makes you happy right now? Just ask them and offer your kindness. And When you live alone, just call someone, call a friend, ask them, how are you today? And don't call them to drag them down with your mood. No, no, no. Do your best and really make an effort to give them a pep talk, to see something positive in their lives, because I'm sure we all can use every positivity and support anyone can give. And maybe there is someone who always calls you and you never call them. Just turn this around. They will be so happy when for once you're the one who's calling and asking, how are you? Are you well? And they will be so glad and so happy. It feels so good to get a call these days and have people check on you. And then you just know that people care. And we all need that very much right now. And well, once this crisis is over, we still need it. We still need it. It still feels good to have someone call and say, oh, hi, how are you doing? And then you can talk to them and they will help you have a more positive view on your life, okay? Just offer your support. There is a lot of amazing things going on all around the world. There are people leaving notes at their neighbors' doors. If you need something, just call this number. I will go shopping for you. And they offer their help to people they've been passing by for years, and maybe they greeted each other, or maybe not even that. And then suddenly, out of the blue, they all kind of turn towards each other and offer their support. And then suddenly we find out that we're surrounded by so many kind people. So I think this is a very, very helpful tool to be there for somebody else when whatever emotion comes up within you and you feel like this energy kind of is best transformed when I take care of somebody else, then use that and do something good for somebody else, okay? So there are so many things to transform emotions, and I am sure that you will come up with something else. And I'd be very happy and very grateful if you would tell me, because we can all share ideas here. So these are the things that we can do when these so-called negative emotions come up. Don't blame yourself. It's absolutely okay. Don't ignore them. Don't allow them to take over your life. Know that every emotion has its function and deal with them openly. And let me know how it works. Let me know how all the steps that I suggested work for you. Practice them, okay? Like everything in life, the more often you do it, the more natural it becomes, the more it becomes your nature. And just imagine that whatever emotion comes up, you can be like, interesting. There is blah, blah, whatever emotion, right? How is this useful now? And then you just make a decision how to transform this energy into something good, something positive, something nurturing for yourself, for your apartment, when you clean it, for somebody else. And, well, that's it for today. I can wave at you now from my tiny cute little bathroom right here. And I hope that you are safe and that you're healthy. And if not, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you'll be healthy very, very soon again. Take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of everybody else. Remember, this is the time to be even more considerate and supportive than we were before. And also, if you have a lot of time at the moment because you are at home, like I think we all are. Whenever I talk to friends who live in different countries, we all are in the same situation. And you want to check out maybe my website, yuna.com, yuna.com, because there is a lot of online trainings and courses that you can do. And I think what is very, very useful at the moment is a course that is called Head Off, Heart On. I think the title says everything. And we all know that our heads tend to get crazy. And I think it's important to connect to the power and the wisdom of the heart, and to experience the head and the heart not as opponents, but as perfect co-workers. So we use our logic and our intuition in a balanced way, and that makes us better decision makers, and we are more focused, and we're more positive and appreciative, and we're more creative in the ways we think. We're solution oriented. We can create more meaningful relationships, of course, and we are very clear about the purpose that our lives have. So I can very much recommend this course, Head Off, Heart On. It's a 40-day course, and you can just register and start. And I'm by your side, and I'm guiding you through every step, and I'll be there for questions and extra support. And also there are workouts, because the Head Off, Heart On course has a lot of exercises that are created to access our heart wisdom and work with our minds in a clear and positive way. And you can do pure workouts as well, so you can check that out too. Yuna.com, yuna.com, and just have a look. And I hope you find something that you like and that helps you and supports you. If you speak German, I do this podcast in German as well, and also Tom and I created a new platform to support you all, and currently we can only manage to do it in German because it's just the two of us doing all the work, and it's a platform, no costs, it's completely free for everybody, and we offer exercises to deal with emotions and to clear the mind and to nurture ourselves and to basically just make the best of this crisis that we are all living through, and we're giving each other support. So if you do speak German, make sure to check it out and register. It's machen wir das Beste daraus.online, and then you can find everything. It's completely free. Just join, and I'd be happy to welcome you there. I'm very sorry, I apologize that we can't do it in English at the moment because, as I said, it's just too much work at the moment for the two of us, but who knows what happens. If you're interested that we do this in English too, just please let me know, and we'll do our best to support you. Also, you can write me, tell me on Instagram, or however you want to get in touch. Find me with my name, Suzanne Freiherz, Suzanne with a Z, and just let me know what you want to hear next week. How can I support you in this very challenging time? And I'd be happy to support you in whatever way you need. So, everyone, thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you so much for just being aware that there is a positive viewpoint on negative emotions, and maybe one day we can stop labeling them as negative and just allow them to be there as energy fields that have a certain function, and then we can deal with them in a relaxed and open and nurturing way. I send you big, 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 big hugs, like air hugs. I said goodbye to dear, dear friends with a lot of tears and a lot of air hugs. And I think this is such a nice thing to air hug someone. And so I'm sending you air hugs, and biggest thanks for being here with me, for letting me be part of your life. And now take a breath, lift the corners of your mouth, and let positivity pervade your beautiful heart and every cell of your body and your breath, and your lungs and your shoulders and your eyes and your baby toes. Let positivity pervade your thoughts, your emotions, and everything that you are and do and say. And create joy and bliss. Shed the negative. The new normal is insanely